Hello and welcome to the Wayne State Coaches Show, an exclusive here at MyWayNews.com. I'm Mike Carnes, here to talk about all things Wildcat athletics. We'll talk with men's basketball coach Jeff Kaminsky as Wildcats continue to assault the top of the Northern Sun Conference standings. We also have some other Wayne State news to talk about. We'll have that coming up on this edition of the Wayne State Coaches Show, and we'll take a time out and come back and talk with Jeff Kaminsky about the men's basketball team right after this time out here on MyWayNews.com.
The Coaches Show is sponsored by Pack and Save. Pack and Save is a proud supporter of Wildcat Athletics and is your one-stop shop for savings. Check out Pack and Save's excellent produce and find the best cuts in their Grade A meat department. Be sure to stop at the Top Notch Deli where you can find their amazing fried chicken, daily lunch specials, and all the fixings for your next tailgate or viewing party. Pack and Save is open from 7:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. 7 days a week, and their staff is waiting to help you for all of your grocery needs. Pack and Save, your one-stop shop for savings in Wayne, America. Go Cats!
Welcome back to the Wayne State Coaches Show on MyWayNews.com. It's time to talk men's basketball with Coach Jeff Kaminsky. Wildcats go on the road this weekend and face University of Sioux Falls and Southwest Minnesota State. Come up on the short end in Sioux Falls with a 77-71 decision, but we're able to report something that hasn't been reported since, almost the turn of the century. The Wildcats beating Southwest Minnesota State for the first time since 2000. They come away with a win over Southwest Minnesota State on Saturday evening and get the win there. So I guess nice to be able to talk about a win from Southwest, something that hasn't been done, like I said, since February of 2000 when desperation three-pointer won the game there.
Yeah, I heard that, so that's hard to believe that we didn't pick up a forfeit win or something in the last 19 years. But yeah, I mean, Southwest has been really, really good, and that's an odd stat. We've obviously had to overcome a few of those this year, and we have a few more of those demons still left. Hopefully with the rest of our schedule we can have a few more of those stories. But really a good win from the standpoint of Southwest, a team a lot of people felt we're going to compete for the league this year. One of the better players in Ryan Brueggemann in the conference. It seems like he's been there for 10 years and has been one of the best guards in the league, one of the leading scorers, and a hard team to beat. We haven't beaten them anywhere for a little while, let alone there. And to bounce back after a tough loss where we really fought back on Friday night against Sioux Falls and put ourselves in position to win, tied the game, and just didn't get it done. So I think mentally it was a great job by our guys to come back and understand how important Saturday's game was, and certainly a big win for us and puts us in good position heading into this weekend.
Yeah, and really the Wildcats have not been a good team on the road over the years, but you guys, I think this is what, 4-1, 5-1 on the road this year?
Yeah, that was our first road loss in the league anyway on Friday, and we had the ball in the game tied with a minute to go there. So I like our group, whether we're at home or on the road. I think it comes down to the same things in terms of winning games, but some teams just play a little more comfortable at home, and those road trips can be tough, especially as you get to the second night when you've been on the road for a little while. And so to come back and win on Saturday was big. But I've always felt on the road that toughness and defense sort of travel. If you can do those things, teams sometimes tend to be a little more comfortable shooting it at home. But we've obviously been one of the better defensive teams in the conference, and I feel like we take that on the road with us and we make it as tough as we can on teams, and that gives us a good chance to win.
Altavius Jackson was one of the four players that were in double figures on Saturday. He had 14 points, a season high for him, and coming off the bench, trailing only Kendall Jacks with 15 points. And Altavius really had a good effort there against Sioux Falls, where he got you guys started, got you guys the lead for good early in the first half, and really played well coming off the bench for you.
Yeah, he did. He's been a big lift for us, especially just bringing in another athletic defender for us off the bench. But he's really improved his offensive play, and he's hit some key shots. He runs the floor in transition. And the biggest thing for him, and especially on Saturday, I think he had 7 rebounds in the first half, where he's really added to to our rebounding totals, and that's been big because coming into this season, probably one of the biggest things we wanted to improve was our rebounding, and he's been part of that for sure. Obviously, Jordan Jansen, who's our leading rebounder, has been a big part of that. But I think Altavius coming off the bench, Tay's given us a great lift, and certainly was a big part of our win on Saturday.
And then Jordan Jansen, of course, we've talked to him about him a number of times. Just missed a double-double, 11 points and 9 rebounds, and had a couple of key baskets there in the second half to help you guys put the game away. And he continues to play really above the fact that he's a freshman. He's probably one of the more talented big freshmen I've seen in some time in the Northern Sun.
Yeah, well, he plays the game the right way. He got in foul trouble, which is a little unfortunate on Friday. When we didn't have Ben Dentlinger playing, and really figured Jordan's going to probably play 35 minutes in that game, and he ends up playing 13 because of foul trouble. So he's got to avoid, some of the ticky-tack fouls, but I think he, just really got some tough calls on Friday, to be honest, and that put him on the bench, and Saturday he bounced back, and at least one thing we knew Friday we extended a lot of energy, and coming into Saturday we felt like we were going to have to go to the bench a little sooner, but we figured Jordan would be fresh since he didn't play a lot on Friday just with the foul trouble, so that turned out to be, I guess, one positive of it. But when he's on the floor, he's generally gonna find his way to the ball and rebound, and he really gives us a lot of extra possessions, and as he continues to improve his game as an offensive player, he's got a chance to really be good here.
Yeah. Going back to the game on Friday night, you guys got down by, I think, as many as 16 points, and were able to come back and actually tie the game late. To your guys' credit, you get down big on the road like that, it's real easy for things to get out of hand, and you guys did a fantastic job of fighting back, obviously expending a lot of energy to get it back to that position, but a great effort to come back and make it a game at the end.
Yeah, when you dig yourself that kind of hole and you come back, most of the time you're going to end up falling short. But we did actually come back and get the game tied with a minute to go and got the ball back and just had an untimely turnover there. The big key there, when you're in that kind of deficit, you're going to have to make some plays. You're going to have to make some shots, and we did that. But you can't trade baskets, and we didn't. We really, for a 4 or 5 minute period there, were really solid defensively, and unfortunately, at the end of the game, they didn't really have to earn anything on offense here. When we turned it over, it led to a layup for them. Otherwise, I'm not sure they would have scored on us, and that was just unfortunate timing, and we ended up losing the game. But it was more than that play. It was obviously a lot of things that led to us going into, being down 16. One, Sioux Falls is really, really good. I mean, they're a team that can certainly compete for our league title, and they've got two of the best players in the league. They're the best offensive rebounding team in the league, and you take that combined with our two best, defensive rebounders, basically didn't play, Ben Dentlinger and Jordan Jansen, who was on the bench most of the night with foul trouble. So we just didn't do a good enough job collectively to keep them off the glass and prevent that 16-point lead from happening in the first place.
But great offensive effort by Trevin Joseph, 35 points in that game, 8 3-pointers, which is most Wayne State players hit in about 5 years. And then Kendall Jack's coming in with a big night as well with 25 points. And of course, Kendall's, we've seen Kendall have nights like that, and Trevin did a fantastic job with, I think that's his career high with 35. A great scoring effort by those two guys.
Yeah, and we don't typically have that. I think you see that a lot on other rosters and teams, guys that are having big nights for them. I think we've done it more with balance, and I think that'll be the case moving forward. But at the same time, it's good to, particularly with Trevin. Kendall's been fairly consistent all year long, and we haven't shot the ball great as a team, and Trevin's been part of that. So in recent games here, he's changing that. I mean, he's making shots and making plays, and when you're down 16, you've got to make some plays, and I think during that stretch, Trevin and Kendall, those two in particular, made a lot of plays for us. Vance hit the shot to tie the game up. But you know, sometimes the game's not all that complicated. I mean, you've got to make shots and make plays, and Trevin did a great job of doing that really for us all weekend.
Wildcats are at home. They're 11-3 overall, 6-2 in conference play, and back home this weekend to face Winona State Friday at 7:30 and Upper Iowa at 5:30. And this is kind of a reversal of fortune over past years. Usually when Winona and Upper Iowa are coming to town, they're looking to complete a season sweep against the Wildcats, and this time it's kind of the shoes on the other foot. You guys have an opportunity to have a season sweep over both of those teams, which Wayne State hasn't had in a long time.
Well, it's great when you can get them on the road first and get that done, but we also know it doesn't guarantee anything at home, especially in our conference, just how competitive teams are. And Winona, again, a team that competed for our league last year and basically returned all their guys. And you know, here they are, not in the upper part of the league right now, but they have the talent to be there. And we realized we had to have a last-second out-of-bounds tip in to to get a win. Down at their place, and Upper Iowa team we haven't beaten there for a while. We haven't beaten them here for a while. So another challenging weekend for us, but certainly good to be home and an opportunity to continue to build on our successful season.
All right, well, Wildcats, as I said, home this weekend, and a chance to win 2 more games and continue to set up near the top in the Northern Sun Conference. Coach, good luck this week, and hopefully we have 2 more wins over those 2 teams to talk about next week.
Very good. We hope so. We'll play hard.
All right, we'll take a time out and have more here on the Wayne State Coaches Show right after this time out.
The Coaches Show is sponsored by Pack and Save. Pack and Save is a proud supporter of Wildcat Athletics and is your one-stop shop for savings. Check out Pack and Save's excellent produce and find the best cuts in their grade A meat department. Be sure to stop at the top-notch deli where you can find their amazing fried chicken, daily lunch specials, and all the fixings for your next tailgate or viewing party. Pack and Save is open from 7:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. 7 days a week, and their staff is waiting to help you for all of your grocery needs. Pack and Save, your one-stop shop for savings in Wayne, America. Go Cats!
Welcome back to the Wayne State Coaches Show, closing things down for another edition here, and a couple of news items to pass along to you. Former Wayne State women's assistant basketball coach Kelly Kilsmeyer has moved up to the head coach's position at Upper Iowa University. There was a coaching change made over the weekend, and Upper Iowa parted ways with their head coach. And Kelly has been there this season as an associate head coach, and he will now be the interim head coach for the rest of the season. Upper Iowa has a 32-game conference losing streak going on over the course of the past 2 seasons, and once again not doing well this season. So a coaching change was made there, and so Kelly Kilsmeyer will be taking over for the rest of the season there for the Peacocks. Wayne State football coach Dan McLaughlin is going to be recognized this weekend at Broken Bow. He is going to be entered into the Broken Bow Athletic Hall of Fame. He's actually the only high school football coach in Nebraska history to win 3 state championships at 3 different schools. He started that 3-time run in Broken Bow back in 1987 with the state championship there. He went from there to Norfolk High School, won a state title in 1994, and left Norfolk after that season to start up the new football program at Millard West High School a year later, and won the Class A state championship in 2001. And of course, 4 years later, he was named the head coach at Wayne State, where he has been since then. Will be starting his 15th year next season, which will make him the longest serving football coach in Wayne State history when he takes over the season, or when he continues the season in the fall of 2019. So congratulations to Coach McLaughlin on that great honor, and also congratulations to Kelly Kilsmeyer for the opportunity to move up to a head coaching position at the Division II level. That's going to do it for this week's edition of the Wayne State Coaches Show here on MyWayNews.com. Have a good week, and don't forget to support the Wildcats home and away. The basketball teams are home this weekend with Winona State on Friday night and Upper Iowa on Saturday. So check out the Wildcats and cheer them on this weekend as they get going in basketball action. We will see you next week for another edition of the Wayne State Coaches Show here on MyWayNews.com. Until then, this is Mike Carnes. We'll see you later.